Going on, all thanks for tuning in once again. Let's talk Zhang versus Kabayal. First fight of the big card. Saudi Arabia obviously got Bivol Baturbiev headlining. Great card. Let's start with the first fight, which is Kabayal versus Zhang. What a great start to a card. It's an interesting fight for me. I don't understand how Zhang is the underdog. I'm very confused. If anything, that's a 50-50 fight. Kabayal proved a lot of people wrong, beating McMurdoch and as well as obviously Sanchez, right? 2 fights people didn't expect him to win. Zhang, last win was against Wilder and lost to Parker. So I see this fight as an interesting fight. I think that Kabayal definitely has faster feet than Zhang. Zhang's got more coverage because of the range and the height advantage. And Zhang's really crafty. He's a guy that can really hurt you, but he doesn't really need to throw with momentum. He can stand stationary and really put down guys easily. Great head movement. The only thing that he lacks is the amount of punches that he throws, and obviously the stamina issues that everyone knows about. So I'm going to go with the underdog in this fight. I know that Kabayal is good at what he does. I know that he can jump in and out of the pocket, and he drops Sanchez and McMurdoch with the body shot. I know that he's very coordinated. He knows how to throw upstairs and downstairs well. But Zhang's just, he's just a different different fighter. He's very crafty at what he does. He's very good at what he does. He's put every fighter that he's fought since he's been recognized, since the Joe Joyce fight, you could say. Everyone that he's fought, he's put them on the canvas early. Every single fighter, right? They say you're only as good as your last fight. He's knocked out Deontay Wilder in round 5. People may say, well, Wilder's washed up. Who else has knocked him out that early? Didn't Tyson Fury go 11 rounds with him? Didn't Robert Helenius last for 1 round? Zhang drops Herkovic in the first round. Zhang drops Parker early in the fight. I think it was round 3 or 4. Right? Kabayal's been dropped before. There's a lot of things here to take into account. Zhang says that he was too confident fighting Parker. He realizes that he was too confident, he was too comfortable, celebrating too early. But Zhang's a guy that he can take his time if he wants to. He's just like Kabayal. He tries to figure out the angles, but he just doesn't throw as much. But he's figuring it out right in your face. He's figuring it out just standing there. He's moving his head. His head's like a swivel. He's able to turn the punches, throw punches when you're throwing. When do you ever see someone throwing a power shot when Wilder's throwing his? He's basically throwing his power shot same time as Wilder, catching him. Didn't Tyson Fury wear out Wilder and then put him down? Didn't Tyson Fury press against Wilder's shoulder and then take away his right hand and then put him down? You know, Zhang's infighting the power punches. You know, Zhang's a two-footed, heavy-handed puncher where he can knock you out with any punch, whether it's a right hand or left hand. I think that Kabayal's in trouble here. I don't think it's going to go 7 rounds. I think that Kabayal's going to think, you know what, I'm landing body shots on this guy, I'm going to try to slow him down. And then he's going to feel power that he's never felt before. You know, I think that Zhang, in my opinion, is the hardest puncher in the division. You know, it's when you see him dropping guys that early, when you see him dropping guys that easily, you know, like I say, no momentum in the punch. He's standing stationary and he's basically just throwing, you know, taking out joints. And I mean, Zhilei, he can punch hard as well. Didn't it take Zhilei 11 rounds to first drop Joyce? You know, please correct me if I'm wrong. From memory, I believe it was 11 rounds. You know, very late in the fight, he drops Joyce. Zhang doesn't just drop him, you know, he knocks him out, with his other hand, you know, not with his dominant straight left. He's not chopping him and finishing the fight with his right hand. Zhang's a southpaw, you know, so he's very dangerous for anybody. And the thing is with the stamina, you know, people could say, well, you know, let's just take him out in the second half of the fight. You know, he's going to gas out. It's not that simple, you know. Parker got dropped twice. Parker got dropped twice against Zhang. You know, it's not that simple to just get him to the later rounds. And the second knockdown was in round 8. So, I mean, I think that Zhang is more craftier than people think that he is. You know, I don't think that people understand how good he really is. How much in your face he is. You know, Kabayal is a guy, he likes to fight in the pocket. And against Zhang, it's a case of survival, especially in the first 6. But Zhang, you know, he doesn't really throw much punches. So, I mean, he can time himself to last a bit longer. You know, it's just that he gets tired through exhaustion, you could say. You know, he doesn't really get tired from you know, throwing too much, because he doesn't really throw much punches. It's just the time that it takes, you know, to knock a guy out. So, I mean, if Zhang can work on his stamina, and it's not one of those things that you've got stamina problems, that's how it's going to be, you know. No, you can work on your stamina, you know, swimming, breathing, things like that. You can work on your stamina, especially because Zhang's a fighter that doesn't really throw much punches. It's very possible that he can improve on his stamina. Very possible. So, I mean,